Are tax incentives or tax rebates a good incentive to draw in economic development? I suspect that tax incentives and tax incentives would be a good incentive depending upon your return for your investment. I know on the outside, looking in and reading in the journal, some of the incentive packages that the City Council has presented to new businesses entering in the city. And I think, as an example, the Baumgars package, it seems to be a well thought of incentive. It still allows for property taxes to be added immediately. Not entirely. There is a tax rebate there. Rebate's not the word I wanted to use, of course, but they are saving on their property taxes, as well as the city taking the advantage of receiving property tax increase too on the property. So I think it all really, for me, it boils down to whether there has to be a good opportunity to get a return on our investment. It's that ROI factor, and if in fact there is a return on the investment through increased property valuation, so increased property taxes, or if it's lends itself to improve quality of life in the city, then I think they have a place. I'm not saying that they always have a place, that everybody should get incentives. I think each package probably stands on its, or each offer will stand on its own merits. What qualities would I look for in the new city manager? What I would look for, first of all, is education. I believe a city manager should have a master's degree in public administration. I also think a new city manager should have extensive experience in a financial background, either as a finance director or some kind of budget manager. I think that the city manager needs to exude enthusiasm. I think he has to be the ambassador for the city. He's got to be an individual who likes to talk, who likes to meet people, and not only business people and people in the community, but I think it's important for me that the city manager get to know the people that he works for. I believe that, in my belief is, the city has a very good organization as it stands right now. There are lots of good employees with many talents, and I've always felt like it's not that they're underused, but maybe that sometimes politicians and managers alike have a tendency to not call upon them as much as they could, either through consulting arrangements or input from others. But I do think that the manager has got to be an individual that knows his people well, and I think one who has had some good experience. Sioux City's a good-sized city, and to be able to work in the Siouxland community, both in public and private, would really be an advantage for the city. Would I be open to look at Leif Erikson Park as a potential site for Bryant School? My initial reaction is that I'm a parks guy, and I believe parks have family values. I can remember from my childhood, born and raised here, lifelong resident, spent a lot of time in city parks. 8 brothers and sisters. Mom wanted us in the parks and out of trouble. And because of my strong feeling about parks and family values, and I think parks lend themselves quite nicely to quality of life issues, I think I would prefer that if I had to vote on that issue right now, I would say the park stays and I wouldn't want to make the offer of making it available to the school board for Bryant School. But am I willing to listen? I'm always willing to listen. You know, again, one of the issues, especially for a candidate, it seems to me, is on the outside looking in, you don't always have as much information as the insiders do. And I read the papers carefully. I try to understand the issues. I just think that there wasn't any strong arguments that would sway me to leave the park. So, or to provide the park, either whole or in part, to the school board. I would vote today. I would vote to keep the park.